Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Committee Reads. I am your host, KWCEs, and with me today I have Fat Bacon Unicorn and GVR. And today we will be reading KWCE number 21, Mothra Leo vs. Kumonga Millennium. Written by Ultimate Ditto. Mothra Leo made his way through the ocean waves as his head bobbed up and down. He was sure that the three-headed demon was not following. It would have made its presence known a long time ago. Righteous anger coursed through his young larval body, with a large island coming into his view. Leo prepared himself for this next stage of his life. Leo inched his way through the lush foliage of the island when he spotted a gorgeous tree in the distance. He crawled toward it, deciding to use it as his resting area and laid against it. It wasn't long until Leo noticed thin yellow silk strands running along the right side of the bark. Not too soon after this discovery, a loud chirping was heard, echoing throughout the ancient forest. Looking around, Leo noticed the large eight-legged arachnid with 8 round ocean blue eyes. Carefully maneuvering along its horizontal web, Kumonga watched Leo with intent eyes, drooling at the sight of its next meal. The giant spider Kaiju continued its chirps and slowly closed in on the young Mothra. Leo slithered down the tree and answered the super arachnid's chirps with his own, warning the foul creature to stand down. Not interested in small talk, Kumonga leapt a terrifying distance and land only a few hundred meters away from Leo. Backing up, Leo shifted into defensive position. He was not in the mood to fight this creature. He had to avenge his mother, which meant killing Descadora, and this brute was not about to deny him of that. Mothra Leo fired strands of white silk that covered Kumonga. This wouldn't bother the spider. However, Leo's webbing conducted energy. Kumonga chirped in pain as volts of energy continued to sting his body. Leaping high, Kumonga planned to crush Leo and devour him. The son of Mothra prepared, lifting his body and fired his mega breast cannon. It scored a direct hit in the underbelly of Kumonga at full force. The arachnid was sent flying out of the sky, crashing to the forest below, its underbelly smoldering from the unexpected attack. It would seem its prey was not so ordinary. Flipping itself over, Kumonga fired its own webbing. Although its silk could not conduct energy, its webbing was also unorthodox amongst silk wielders. Spinning a thick rope of web over its prey, the yellow webbing transformed into a net and successfully ensnared Mothra Leo. Chirping in frustration, his body began sticking to the trees and ground below. Pass.
Creeping up on the larva, Kumonga chirped as it raised its body up in an attempt to impale Leo with its sharp legs. Once again, not allowing himself to fall, Mothra Leo fired his stringing webs that cling to the underside of the spider, some strands of silk forcing the arachnid's legs to become glued together. Stringing sensations cloud the spider's mind as once again its body is ravaged by the energized silk. Raising his body as high as he could, Mothra Leo fired his mega breast cannon once again, creating a small ravine as the blast carved through the ground. Kumonga lifted to the sky once again, but is unable to dodge the blast. With its middle left legs blown off with ease, the 2 glued legs fell to the ground with a thud as Kumonga chirped wildly, blue blood spraying from the 2 stumps on its articulated legs. Landing back to the ground, Kumonga was caught off guard as Leo leapt toward Kumonga and successfully headbutt the arthropod, okay. Right in the face. Staggering back, it once again bombarded with energized silk, screeching in pain as its exoskeleton slowly charred. Kumonga used its long front limbs to swat Leo away, sending him crashing to the ground with an explosion of dirt and trees. Using the cloud of dust to his advantage, the young Mothra used his superior camouflage to maneuver around the giant arachnid. Kumonga crawled closer to the impact site, failing to notice the larva had snuck around it. Once it reached the arachnid abdomen, Kumonga was sent skidding across the forest, tearing up everything in range like a living bulldozer. Chirping with glee, Leo began making his way to Kumonga, wanting to at least drive the pest off. Kumonga. Groggily.
Groggily.
Yeah, Jesus. Got up and heard the sound of rustling from behind. He turned to face the source of the noise, only to find nothing. At this point, Kumonga was not sure whether to consider this Mothra prey, or this larva prey anymore. Part of that attributed to it couldn't see its prey under the veil of camouflage. Mothra pushed his larval body to maximum speed, kicking up dust in the charge. Kumonga leapt back in surprise to see Leo's activities, but not the caterpillar himself, gaining momentum by the second. Kumonga was baffled by the sight, and was struck by the projector head-on. The two stumbled along the ground until they came to a stop. Getting up, both insects looked at each other with all 8 of Kumonga's simple eyes filled with resentment. Leo likewise was frustrated at this creature's presence and ignorance of his duties. Passed.
Kumonga jumped and fired its yellow net webbing. Unable to move fast enough, Leo was trapped in the webbing. His earlier battle with Desghidorah had been taking its toll on the premature hero. Attempting to break free, Leo once again uses his mega breast cannon, albeit much weaker than before. Incinerating the webbing covering the front of his body, he used his camouflage and once again disappeared along the forest, moving to a safe distance. Leo fired his stinging webs, only for Kumonga to detect the sound of the all-too-familiar noise of free-falling silk. It immediately leapt forward, barely avoiding the stinging silk. Kumonga's legs almost gave out upon landing, but it persevered, turning slowly to face its aggressor. Kumonga realized that now would be a good time to bring out its trump card. The giant spider once again fired its webbing and pinned Leo to the ground. The young Mothra found more and more difficulty to raise his body to use his deadliest weapon. Spitting another net of webbing, nearly obscuring Leo's whole body, Kumonga swiftly closed the gap by leaping practically in front of the squirming larva. Kumonga leaned its ugly head close to Leo and opened its mandibles. A venomous needle from the recesses of its mandibles into Leo's left side.
Huh.
I think you accidentally a word there, Ditto.
Yeah, or something. Something happened.
The sudden jolt of pain gave Leo strength needed to tear out of the silk and lie on his side. That was also a sentence. He mustered all he could into one last Mega Buster cannon. Ditto, seriously, what's happening, man? Point blank at Kumonga.
He's having a seizure.
Yeah.
Apparently Mega Man got in here. The arachnid once again careened across the foliage, landing with an awful thud. Mothra Leo desperately tried to crawl away, but only managed to move a mere couple meters before his movement stopped entirely, losing all feeling in his body as his innards slowly reduced to soup. Kumonga, getting up again, limped slowly towards its motionless enemy, not taking any chances. The spider clamped its mandibles against the deceased worm and slurped the contents of the young Mothra contently. Leo's eyes completely dimmed as his godly life force was stolen from him. Kumonga enveloped Leo's corpse with its legs and brought it closer as the gargantuan arachnid finished its meal. Elsewhere, Mole and Laura bowed their heads as they held each other's hands, tears rolling down their cheeks as they mourned the loss of their friend and child. They knew that another monster would rise up to take Leo's place and destroy Desghidorah one day, but until then the three-headed terror was allowed to cause as much damage to the planet as it craved. Desghidorah, cackling with evil, finished sucking the life out of Hokkaido, 2 terrible wings spreading from the black dragon's back. Taking to the sky, Desghidorah searched for a more suitable feeding ground. Winner, Desghidorah. Also, I guess, Millennium Kumonga.
Who's in this match screwed over the world.
Yep.
That is a neat premise, though. I will give this match props for that. That's like, yeah, no, friggin' straight up, that is actually a really neat premise for a match. That's like, yeah, the hero needs to achieve this greater form to fight this greater evil. Wild creature be like, hey, how's it going? And then kills you. That's kind of neat. You don't get that often. Sure, it's somewhat depressing, but I don't mind that. I think it's something a little different. That's like, oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Now Mothra Leo has to undergo one more fight. And in this case, he lost.
Yep.
So yeah.
Match was fun.
Yeah.
It's a nice little match, and it's not a complete stop since he's a larva. So that was pretty nice using Mothra Leo larva.
Mm-hmm.
Not really much to say. It's overall a fun match.
GVR.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't want to like speak until you mentioned me.
Gotcha.
Don't want to like speak out of turn, you know. Yeah. Pretty much agree with you and Bacon. It was unique and well done fight. Kumonga's not going to be enjoying that meal when black three-headed dragon comes out of the sky and erases him.
Unless it's written by MM, then in that case.
Yes, still wounded Kumonga will defeat Descadora, but Kino writing.
Kumonga with two legs missing.
Millennium Kumonga with 2 legs missing.
Damn.
Anyway, with that said, this has been KWCE number 21. We'll see you guys next time for KWCE number 22. Till then, everyone.